If you ask me how to be successful on Upwork, I'll say pay attention to one thing: your JSS score. High JSS score means more clients and more money. In this video, I'll go through why was JSS created, what it is, and why it is important. I'll also go through how it is calculated and what affects your JSS score. If you have a low JSS score, I'll show you how to improve it. So stay tuned. If you want to get more clients, increase your earnings, and reach top-rated levels on Upwork, subscribe for more tips and real case studies. I'll also share tips on blogging, affiliate marketing, and creating businesses online. So let's dive in. Why was Job Success Score created in the first place? Upwork is a trade company, and obviously their goal is to maximize profit. Their profit comes when clients pay to get jobs done. They charge both the client and the freelancer when the contract ends successfully. So without clients, Upwork wouldn't be able to operate. So with every feature they add, they prioritize the client and want to provide the best service for the client. They're still fair to the freelancer, but that's not what we're going to discuss here. So the JSS score was created for the client, not for the freelancer. And we'll see how later in the video. So what is JSS? Job Success Score is simply a percentage that reflects how satisfied your previous clients were with your work. When you are new on Upwork and you go to Find Work tab, then My Stats, you see here on the left, Job Success Score. And it says it will be shown when you get more jobs. Or if you've been on Upwork for some time, you will see the percentage here. Now you might ask why JSS is important. First, you should know that your aim as a freelancer on Upwork is to get and maintain a high JSS score. And here's what you should know about the score. If your JSS score gets below 80, it won't look good on your profile. You can still get clients, as you can see these examples here, they have low JSS score, but they're still getting clients, and it's not affecting them as much. But obviously it's not ideal. If you have 80 plus JSS score, it's good score, and you can see that client can filter by 80 plus and 90 plus JSS scores. If a client adds 80 plus as a job preference or 90 plus, they wouldn't even look at your profile if it's under 80%. We'll get you more invitations by clients, and this means you won't have to search for jobs as much you used to do when you started on the platform or before you get a JSS. You should aim for a score above 90%. If you get 90% and above, and maintain it for 13 weeks of the last 16 weeks, you will get promoted to top-rated level. And a top-rated badge will be displayed on your profile. Things that you need to tick before getting the top-rated level, but that's subject of another video. So a high JSS score can help you stand out on Upwork. And as we said, will get you more clients if you didn't have the badge. Now let's see how it is calculated. The Job Success Score tells the potential client or anyone visiting your profile how many previous clients were satisfied with your work compared to how many previous clients were unsatisfied with the work you've done in the past. But the exact way Upwork calculates this score is only known to them. They don't reveal how they are calculated, so it can't be manipulated. And they clearly say that in this paragraph here. They give a vague formula of how they calculate it, and that's by getting the number of successful projects minus the unsuccessful projects divided by the total projects or jobs you got on your profile. But there are other factors that affect how the JSS score is calculated, and we'll talk about them in a minute. Now let's see when your JSS is calculated. Upwork looks at your last 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, and 2 years work history. And then they calculate a score for each of these time periods. The best score out of these is your JSS score. Now, as a beginner on Upwork, you might be thinking, when will I get a JSS score? The first thing that you will get as a recognition of a successful profile is a Rising Talent badge. I'll talk about Rising Talent and how to get it in a video that I will link in the description box below if you want to check that. So once you satisfy certain criteria, you'll get the Rising Talent badge. And then once you qualify for a JSS score, the Rising badge will be replaced with a JSS score. So here they say not all projects and clients are equal, so the time it takes to get a GSS varies, and in order to get a GSS, you need to complete 2 or more projects with 2 different clients or 4 different contracts within the 24 months. As a general rule, you will have a GSS after 5 to 8 projects. Some freelancers never get this Rising Talent badge and they straight away get a GSS, and they get a GSS score instead. And that's okay. It happens in some cases when you don't qualify for Rising badge, but they calculated your GSS, but you will get a GSS score instead. Now, you might want to know what affects your GSS score. We talked earlier about how important the client is to Upwork. The client satisfaction is their priority, and that's why they added the private feedback. The private feedback, as you can tell from the name, it's private, and you as a freelancer wouldn't know what was the feedback given by the client. It's not shared with you, or it's not shared publicly. And the private feedback weighs more than the public star review when it comes to calculating your GSS. For example, if a client gives a feedback of 0 and then give you 5-star reviews, your GSS will be affected negatively, even if you have a 5-star review from that client. Now let's talk about what affects your GSS score. If a contract ended with no earnings and no reviews, it will hurt your GSS. This happens if the clients hired you and then changed their mind, or they made a mistake, or for any other reason, they decided to end the contract. Obviously, they won't pay you because you didn't do the job, and they won't leave any feedback. Now, if the contract is ended with no earnings, but the client decides to give you a positive review, this contract won't affect your GSS. Third scenario is if you have too many jobs with no feedback compared to the total jobs you got. Let's say you have 20 completed jobs on your profile. 15 of those 20 have no feedback. This will hurt your GSS. Ask clients to leave a feedback, but don't say a positive one. It is against Upwork terms of service. Another type of contract that you should be aware of are long-term contracts. Long-term contracts are the ones open for more than 3 months. If you are active and you are doing the work for the client, it is a good thing. But if it is inactive, for example, you've completed the job, but the contract was not ended by the client and it shows in progress, as you can see here, on your profile, it will hurt your GSS score. So always ask the clients to end the contract and give you feedback based on your service. Feedback from high-paid project isn't equal to low-paid projects. Obviously, higher-paid jobs feedback weighs more than lower-paid jobs. So if you get $1,000 job and you're given a review, it obviously weighs much more than a job that you did for $20. As a freelancer, you can leave a review to a client you worked with. So if one of those clients who have a bad history feedbacks or reviews that you can see here, don't worry, it won't affect your GSS, because Upwork knows that some clients are just difficult to work with. So their feedback doesn't affect your GSS score. If you've been on Upwork for some time and you got a GSS score and it got lower or it is low in the first place and you want to improve it, here are some of the tips that you can do to improve your GSS score. First, if you get negative reviews that are displayed on your profile publicly, it won't look good, of course. So you try to respond to those negative feedbacks. Explain what happens and where the client was unreasonable. Try to be professional and use words carefully. If a potential client sees that you replied and explained the situation and you are still professional, it will obviously look much better than just a negative review that is without a response. Also, what you can do is add a short video that is a featured video on your profile, and if necessary, pay someone to make you a nice video to present yourself and your services. Another thing that you shouldn't ignore is always communicate with the client. Update them with what you're doing. Always keep the client updated. I myself as a client hate it when I work with freelancers and I don't hear from them until the due date. I have no idea if they started the work, if they will deliver it on time, and I start hoping they do the job as I expect, and if modifications are needed, they will get it from the first time. I'll have tons of questions in my mind. So just be clear, explain everything to the client. Freelancer is responsible, and I was kept updated throughout the project, and it's a positive thing. And your chances at getting a positive feedback are much, much higher. And as a freelancer myself, I did update the clients and explained all what I did. My last piece of advice is always work on your profile, optimize it, and also on your portfolio. Create a high quality portfolio, and it must be relevant to the job you're applying to. So you as a freelancer have the chance to request a removal of a feedback, obviously a bad one, for one project catalog contract per month. And that's specific for project catalogs, not just from the regular jobs. That's all for today. Thank you for watching.